Hi, this is Todd Olthoff from ToddOlthoff.com, coming back at you with another screencast. In this week, we're going to take a look at the sync features that are built into PLEX for those of you that have a PLEX Pass. Now, these features are only included with a PLEX Pass, and so if you don't have a PLEX Pass, you won't be able to get these in the free version. But for those of you with a PLEX Pass, this is one of the advantages of having that. And so there are two ways to do syncs. There's a cloud sync and a direct sync to your devices. Now the cloud sync, we're going to start with that, is designed for you to sync files to various cloud storage providers and have them there to be able to access. Now it's not designed to upload your entire library. That's what the server's designed to do, give you remote access anyway. But this is in the occasion that you want to sync your information up there. Maybe you want to turn your computer off. You don't want to have PLEX running in the background, but you just want to have access through the PLEX interface to, maybe a couple pieces of media and that sort of thing. That's what the cloud sync's for. As we'll talk about in a little bit, the regular sync process is to actually download from your PLEX server information or media that you can sync to your device, so you have that when you're offline. So that's how that works. So we're going to start with a cloud sync because you actually have to go into your PLEX account, which would be at plex.tv, log in, and you want to come to the cloud sync tab. Now once you're in this tab, as you can see, we have all these different services available. We've got Amazon, Box, Dropbox, Google Drive. Each one of these has the ability to store your media. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just say Dropbox. I'll just click on that because I've got a Dropbox account. And so what it's going to do is take me to a page that says, hey, do I want to allow this to happen? Do I want to allow PLEX to access it? And I'm going to say yes, so we're going to say allow. And so it's going to go ahead and access that. And now my Dropbox account has been linked. And so it tells me what I've got. It says leave 20% of your storage space free so that you have space there for the cloud sync to take place. And so right in here, I can either unlink it, reauthorize it if I need to, or I can edit and change this if I need to do that as well. Now another thing you can do in here, just to show you, if you just click on Edit, you can determine how much space you want PLEX to use. You can say no limit or up to a certain amount or leave a percentage. I just change it to no limit and then I'm going to save it so that it uses up some of the space that I got because I don't have less than 20%. So now if I go back into PLEX here, and let's just say I want to sync some stuff here, and let's just say I want to sync this particular album here. If I just click on this, and I can just click on sync, and you'll notice that now I have this new cloud sync here. If I just click on cloud sync, I can say limit it to a certain number of items, and I can choose the file size in terms of what I want my media to be, whether the high or medium or so. It'll convert that for me for my device. And if I just click on sync, then it's going to start this process of syncing this media up to the cloud. And if I just say click here to watch the status of the sync, you can see here I've got this status area up here. In fact, let me just click on that. And you can see that right now it's syncing to the cloud. It's uploading, it's converting the file first, and then it will start the sync. So it's going ahead and compressing that. So now it's done that, and so now it is going to start syncing that information up to the server. Okay, once it's done syncing, you can see that it shows right here that that particular album is in sync. I've got that under this little cloud sync area, and now we're set and ready to go. And if I just come back here to the home button, what it's done is if I come over here to server, it's added this cloud sync server, which will show what I've got. And here I've just got music, and I've got one album here that was in sync with that particular item. My cloud sync area. So as you sync more things, then more and more things will show up in here, and you'll be able to access them remotely just using the cloud sync server that you've got. And then that way you could turn your PLEX server off and just have access to those items. So that's how the cloud sync works here in PLEX. Now let me show you another thing. I'm just going to come back onto here. Let's go back to my server. And let's say that I want to download an item. So I want to have that item downloaded so that I can access it later. In order to do that, I can go into any movie to view my offline content. And let me just show you that here. I'm going to come up to my settings area here. Actually, I'm going to come up to this area, go to sync. And in sync, I'm just going to say iPad. And you can see here that I've got this checkbox here because this is a movie that I put in sync on my iPad, and I started that process there. So let me show you how that would work by going over to the iPad and showing you what it looks like. Okay, so here I am over on the iPad, and let me just show you how this works with the sync features. You'll notice I've got the Ant-Man movie there, and you can see it's got this little triangle that shows download on it. That means that's an item that was in sync. Let me show you how I got there. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap on another movie that I've got here. Let's just say this one right here. Now, if I wanted to download this for offline viewing on my iPad, I would just tap the download arrow here, and it would take me into this sync page. Now, in this page, I can choose certain sync options if I wanted to. If I just tap here, I can choose the quality of my sync. I can choose a low quality, medium, high, or highest. I can even come in here to advance and specify the audio quality as well as the video quality depending on how big of a file I want to have. If I just tap back, I'm going to, in this case, just do low, just for the purposes of this demonstration. So it's going to come back. So I've got it set at low, and then all I need to do is tap on save. Now once I do that, you can see that it's starting that sync process. It's starting to sync the movie, and it's going to start to transcode it. Now it's going to transcode it back on my server. So let me show you what that looks like here on the server itself. Okay, here we are back over at the PLEX server. And as you can see here, I'm in the conversion area, and you can see that it's converting this movie for sync. And it's starting the process. It's going to take about 31 minutes to get it going. You can see it's at 1%. And so it's going to go through this process of actually converting this file and getting it ready to sync. Once that's available, then that file is going to show up on my iPad as something that I can sync and download. Because what it's doing right now is just creating an optimized version that I could download for offline use. And so that's what it's doing. So I'm going to let that run, and let's go ahead and go back to the iPad just so you can see what it looks like on the other side. Okay, here we are back on the iPad, and here I want to just show you what a synced file looks like already. If I just come into, let's see, come into the sidebar over here and I tap on sync, you'll notice that I've got one item syncing, so it's showing you that it's converting this X-Men movie that I've got. It's about 50% done. And you can see I've got another one here that was already completed, this Ant-Man movie. If I just tap on that, you can see that this movie was already synced and ready to go. If I wanted to delete it, I can just hit the delete item here to get rid of it. If I tap back, though, you can see that the sync is running right there, and it is still doing the conversion. So let's go ahead and put this down. And let's just tap over here. So with Ant-Man here, if I wanted to, I can come in here, and I can just tap the download arrow here and just say save. And so it's syncing Ant-Man now, and it's going to do that and sync it to my device so that it's available for offline viewing. And you can see that it's already completed that. That item has been in sync with my device, and now it's available for offline viewing. So if I just tap here, and if I just come up here to server, and I just select my iPad. So this is my local iPad now. And what you can see, if I just tap on this, if I just tap on the Movies PLEX area, it's going to take me in here to where I can actually see the movie that I have in sync. So this would be an offline version. This is what's actually on my iPad that I have access to. And so I can just tap to access this movie and watch it off my iPad now instead of on my PLEX server. So now that I've shown you how to sync movies and how to sync them with the cloud or on your device, let's take a look at one more sync option, and that is the photo sync. Okay, one more option built into PLEX is photo sync. You can sync your camera roll to PLEX itself. If I just tap on settings over here, I get this page here that has a bunch of different information, and you can see camera upload. If I just tap on camera upload, and I come in here and I choose a library, and so I can go to my different libraries, create a new one, or I can say photos from the server. I can say next. And I can say add it to an album if I wanted to, or I can create a new one. And so I can come in here and say add to a particular album if I've got one, or create one itself. If I say next, I can turn on automatic uploads. And what this is going to do is automatically upload my photos from my camera roll to my PLEX server. So if I select that and hit finish, it'll start the upload process. So just wanted to show you that it does have camera upload built into it, which is kind of a nice feature. And so that kind of gives you an idea of everything that you can sync. So hopefully that gives you an idea of the different sync features inside of PLEX. Again, you need a PLEX pass for these things to work, but as you can see, they're quite powerful options to be able to use to get your media where you want it and when you need it. So that's all I have for this week. I'll be back at you next week with another screencast to help you learn how to do more things with your Mac. If you're interested in help in setting up your own server, feel free to contact me at todd@toddolthoff.com.